What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Pregame, presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app and be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I am Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy, Big Dave Watson, he is at BAWL Sports.
Oh. Do that again. I'll give you a take two.
Hey, you didn't like that one?
No. You ain't feel that one. I ain't feel that one.
BAWL!
There you go. Sound like you saying bow. It's like bow. There you go. You got it. Come on, baby. You know what this is.
Been doing it for years. All of a sudden, that one. No, you don't like it. You didn't do it like. No, you did it right that second time. That was perfect. That was perfect. Okay.
Love the shoes, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Love the shoes.
Thank you, sir. Our pal and producer Joey Spathis rocking with us per usual on the controls. Follow that man at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO_Bulls. Our guy Willie Go Gottlieb at the UC for the Bulls' fourth and final game of this homestand. We will hear from him later on tonight during postgame. 1 day closer to the trade deadline, Dave. 1 day closer. Is it like for you, is it the anticipation feeling ramping up, or are you like, is this a time of the NBA season that you dread and you are waiting for it to be over with?
I never dread it. I enjoy it so much and the one thing I dread is nothing happening for no team. That's happened before in NBA. Like no big deal, nothing has happened. I want something to go down. I want multiple things to go down. Like the one trade that already happened, I mean, that was big, but I want more stuff. I just want more stuff. Like I need it to be like that Christmas. That's what NBA trade deadline is. It's Christmas.
Well, you're in luck because we're going to talk about some more trade stuff during pregame tonight.
Let's go.
Maybe during postgame. Shout out to our pal John Sabine. Good luck to him and all the Dallas Mavericks fans out there. The big domino has fallen.
Yes,
Kyrie Irving. The trade just I saw like maybe an hour ago became official between Brooklyn and Dallas. They were maybe trying to work in a third team, maybe trying to get Van Vliet, I saw from Toronto. We were talking about Van Vliet the other day.
This is true.
If anyone's getting Van Vliet, it's us, all right? Hands off. But so now, who knows, maybe more dominoes start to fall between now and Thursday, just 3 days away. It's absolutely crazy. But we wanted to do a couple more rounds of bullish or bullshit, one of which that is maybe some slight sourcing and actual reporting, and then one that was one of the trades that our guy Will the Goat came up with in his column that's up on allchgo.com right now. Go give it a look, see if you haven't already. There's some trades in there that I love, some not so much, but we're going to talk about one of the ones that I like, and it just so happens to involve this team that the Bulls are playing tonight, the Spurs of San Antonio.
Oh, all right.
Before we get to that one, though, wanted to talk about this one that was in also in Will's column, and it is sourced from, shout out to our guys, the Bigs, who were talking about this in their post-game recap after the win over the Blazers the other night. Shout out to Eugene and Terrence, do great work over there at the Bigs. Check them out. They said that their sources tell them the Bulls have, quote, have a keen interest in vet point guard John Wall.
Yeah.
And that was one of a few different places that I've seen that going around NBA Twitter over the last few days. We all know that the Bulls might be buyers looking for point guard help.
Yes.
Because the Lonzo Ball news doesn't sound great.
No.
So here is what our guy Will the Goat proposed, Joey, if you want to throw it up, for a Bulls-Clippers trade that would net the Bulls John Wall. It is the Bulls getting John Wall and Ivica Zubac, their big man, plus Clippers second-round picks in 23 and 24, and the Bulls sending the Clippers our big man, Nikola Vucevic, that hurts, and our vet backup point guard, Goran Dragic. There you see it on your screen. Initial impressions of this proposed trade, Dave, if the Bulls are, in fact, looking in John Wall's direction.
My first thought was I don't want John Wall. And I just don't feel like it meshes with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. His game is he got to have the basketball, and not because he's facilitating, but because he's scoring. He's a great player. Like I have no problem with his game or anything. I just don't think it meshes well with the Bulls players. We've had so many discussions on this show, and fans have said it too, just about the ball dominance of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
Right.
So you bring in another one who has to get it to score and do his thing. I don't know. I don't feel that meshing well. Now I love my guy Zubac Shakur. That's my guy. I roll with him, man. His contract is friendly. I believe it's like a team friendly deal.
Yes.
He's nice. I'm cool with him. John Wall, I honestly think you can wait on if you really do want to get him. I don't think you have to trade for him because I think they're gonna let him go anyway. I think he's gonna go out here in a buyout. So if you want to save that and wait for that and then go after him that way, you could do that. But bottom line for me, I don't know. I don't think I would want John Wall.
Right. Para Junior Sports in the comments. Shout out to one of our regulars pointing out also that John Wall could potentially be a buyout candidate. I've heard that source from a lot of different places over the last few days if the Clippers can't find a deal for him, which in that case you say, okay, maybe instead of giving up any kind of assets to get this guy, you can just go get him on the buyout market.
Yeah.
But then with the Bulls, if you're trying to stay under that luxury tax line, adding John Wall's contract creates a problem there. The Bulls could cut somebody, but who are they cutting whose money would equal out to John Wall's to then not go above that luxury tax line? I'm with you in that I don't love John Wall's fit on this team. And I also really do like Zubac. He's a good young big man in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
You did mention he is on a team-friendly deal. He's making $10 million this season, just under $11 million next season. He's also on the books in 24-25 for $11.7 million. That is a team-friendly contract for a player who produces the way he does.
Yeah.
However, there are two things he doesn't do that Vooch does for this Bulls team.
Okay.
Space the floor as a big man.
That's a fact.
And facilitate and play make as a big man.
This is also
he does other things that you can argue better than Vooch does them.
Yeah.
Maybe on the defensive end, and maybe does a little bit more pounding inside than Vooch does at this stage of Vooch's career. But he does not do those two things. So if you trade away Vooch for a big like Zubac, you're trading away a big and not getting one back that does those two key things. The Bulls, we know, desperately need Vooch's floor spacing because they don't get it in enough places on the rest of their roster.
Correct.
And we've talked about how, especially with this team's lack of a point guard, they need Vooch's playmaking and passing ability as well.
Yeah, and you're losing your highest IQ starter out there on the floor, the guy who knows where everybody needs to be and knows when he doesn't need to be there. You're losing all of that. If you're going to lose that, like you said, bringing a guy like Zubac, you have to have IQ. I'm sorry, you have to have a point guard that has that kind of IQ that knows where everybody else needs to be. I'm not saying John Wall can't do that.
Right.
I'm saying he has to score to be effective. John Wall can't have a 5-point game and be effective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's got to put the ball in the basket. He's got to have those moments. He's going to get it and he's going to go. You know what I mean? He's a run-out guy. So I don't know. I just don't see how it meshes with this team. But like I said, if they want him, like you just mentioned, like I said earlier, if it could get him on a buyout, and it could be better for you that way without having to give up so many assets.
The other thing about John Wall, and you saying, he needs to score to be effective, he is also, and has been for large stretches of his career when healthy, a great facilitating point guard. He's had seasons where he's averaging 8, 9, even 10 assists.
Yeah, he's had them.
He's not doing that now because he's not getting that many minutes for the Clippers.
Right.
He's been playing almost exclusively off the bench in the 34 appearances he's made for the Clips this season, and he's just not doing it. If you stretch out his minutes to per 36 with the Clips this season, Wall's averaging 18.5 and 8.5.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
It is.
For a vet guard who you might be asking to start or might be asking to come off the bench, depending. But, I mean, it's how many times are we sitting here talking about Bulls point guards and their health being an issue? Whether it was Derrick Rose back in the day, now it's Lonzo Ball, it's an issue.
Yeah.
You want to hear number of games played by John Wall going back to the 2017-18 season?
I don't.
You might not want to hear it, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell all you out there in Bulls Nation.
Okay.
Going back to 17-18, here are games played per out of 82 by John Wall. 41, half, 32, 0, 40, half, 0 again, 34 so far this season off the bench.
God, yo, that's terrible. That's tough, man. Like, yeah.
You want to trade for and count on that guy?
Yeah. Again, this is why I say buyout. And even to your point where you were saying seasons he's averaged, the 10 assists like that. The most assists he's averaged in the season is 10.7. You know how many points he was averaging that year? 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to score. That's the most assists and the most points he's averaged in a season, man.
Right.
He has to score the basketball. And then his facilitating kind of comes from that with everybody around. That's why he and Bradley Beal work so well together. Right,
exactly. Good night, Cav. Have a good one. The other thing, I mean, talking about Vooch and losing his floor spacing and not getting any back with Zubats in this hypothetical, you also don't get any three-point shooting back with John Wall.
Ooh, that's a great point.
Dude's a 30% three-point shooter.
That's an excellent point.
If you're also giving up in this trade Goran Dragic. And it's not like Dragic is lighting it up from downtown, but you know what he is shooting from three this season? 36.5%. That's better than 30.
That's tough. That's better than 30.
The Bulls are giving up two at least competent three-point shooters and getting none back in return in this trade.
Yeah.
And we talk how much about how low volume this Bulls three-point shooting team is as is.
So you're going to get worse at something you're already really bad at. No, that doesn't sound like a plan.
And look, I understand these reports that the Bulls are maybe looking to add quality guard depth and a guard piece to this roster if they're not ready to give up and go in the other direction and steer towards a tank in the back third of the season. I understand that. But in this particular case, hearing that they have reported interest on John Wall, you're just like, but why?
Yeah,
it's like the gif of Ryan Reynolds.
Why?
He pulls down his surgical mask.
Right. But why? Yeah, and I see Devin saying John Wall will have the Bulls running the break a lot. Yeah, because that's what he does. Like, he gets it and he goes. They have guys like that now. Io's like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you know that's what John Wall's assists come from, that's why I said he and Bradley Beal was such a good combo together. He don't really got that. You know what I'm saying? Here, like, when he gets it and he goes, sometimes he's going to choose John Wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a lot of times he's like, I'm choosing me on this one, man. So it depends on who he's running with. You know what I mean? Is who's going to be out there on the floor to run with him as well.
Right.
But I think that point right there is the most valid one of all, the three-point shooting. It's what you have to have. It's what we've been screaming about them getting. And then they go out and get two people who can't do it. And you trade away to two guys who are pretty much your best. Like, that is not a thing you should be doing right now if you're trying to be a team competing to get to the playoffs like they keep saying they are.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Bro.
So, interesting. Well, I wonder if anything else will pop up as far as the Bulls and John Wall in the coming days. If it does, we will be here talking about it.
Yes, we will.
All right, we've got another Bulls hypothetical trade on deck that we want to talk about, and it's involving the Spurs that the Bulls are playing tonight. We will do that in just a minute. While I tell you all about our friends at DraftKings, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up button. If you're watching along with us live on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. What's so funny?
So hype. Hit that thumbs up.
I'm always hyped about the thumbs up button. Dude.
Yeah, I see, man. You know, I like it. I like it, man.
Some people call it the like button.
The like, yeah.
I just like
it.
I just call it the thumbs up button.
Or as you say,
what it is.
As you say, that thing that looks like a thumb.
That thing that looks like a thumb.
Yes.
Looks like one of these guys right here.
Correct.
Pregame brought to y'all, as it always is, by our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NBA, our official betting partner at CHGO. This dude's giggly today.
Yo, man. Are you hearing yourself?
Yes, I am.
This is awesome. Keep going. This is awesome, man. This is awesome.
This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place the same-game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you get a bonus bet back. That is zero-risk parlay action. You know you want it. You know our guy Joey wants it. You know I'm probably getting some of that too. I got to give him a... Should I interrupt pregame so I can
yes, yeah, absolutely you should.
I'll hurry up. Well, I'll get 10 minutes between 7 and like actual tip off at 7:10.
Okay.
I'll do it then.
Set that alarm.
You should do it too.
All right.
Don't forget to use that promo code CHGO when you sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook.
DraftKings.
Okay, hypothetical trade number 2 for our pregame action.
Double
Bulls Spurs. This one comes to us from Will the Goat Gottlieb, and it has the Bulls getting their big man, Jakob Poeltl, along with quality wing, shooting guard / small forward, Josh Richardson, vet player, solid player, and once again, shipping out our beloved big man, Nikola Vucevic, and the 2023 first-round pick coming to the Bulls via the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
Just to give you a quick glimpse on why the GOAT thinks both teams might have mutual interest in this deal. The Spurs could lose both Poeltl and Richardson this upcoming offseason as unrestricted free agents.
Fair.
So similar to the Bulls in the Vooch situation, if the Bulls don't want to sign Vooch, trade him instead of losing him for nothing, that kind of thing. And Will said, while the Spurs need to pay someone as they are currently below the salary floor, they may as well get a pick back in the process and look to spend to get to the floor elsewhere. The Bulls, meanwhile, get a legitimate rim protector in Jakob Poeltl, who would elevate the rest of the Bulls group defensively, while Josh Richardson gives the Bulls a 3-and-D player they simply do not have on the current roster.
That's true.
Jakob Poeltl is a free agent, as is Vooch, so you end up paying the younger guy the same contract. Richardson would be a huge addition to the wing depth that's non-existent on this team.
True.
What do you think about this one, Dave?
First of all, Will is kind of biased on this one. You know, you love some Jakob Poeltl.
Loves him some Jakob.
Loves him some Jakob Poeltl. All right. Honestly, I wouldn't do it. Not because Jakob Poeltl isn't good, because he's awesome. I think he won't stay. That is my reasoning. I think, and one, I don't think the Spurs are letting him go. Like, even though he's coming to free agent, I think they're going to sign him because they're obviously in the Victor sweepstakes.
Right.
But
aggressively so.
Aggressive.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Right. Dude, but I think they're also like, well, there's a chance, there's a possibility we don't get him. So there is somebody we have to build around, right? So if we're going to have to build around somebody, why not build around this really good center that everybody really knows is really awesome and still young? So, yeah, I think they're going to pay him and keep him. I don't think he's going to go anywhere personally. But if you do this, you also give up that draft pick, that first-round pick. Now, a lot of people have been mad at and angry because the Bulls really don't have a first-round pick this year. So
didn't help them that we beat the Blazers the other day. We're trying to watch the Blazers make the playoffs out there in the West.
Hey, man, it's clogged up over there.
Right, yeah.
They still got a chance. It's clogged up over there. But trading away the only chance you might have at a pick in the Victor sweepstakes, I don't know if they would want to do that.
Right.
But it's not the sweepstakes, because obviously if they get it, you won't be in that lottery with that. But still, it's a really good draft. So you'll be able to get somebody and walk away from it because the Bulls are missing some things.
Right.
So they need to get them. But I like Josh Richardson sweetens the pot for me because I have always been a big Josh Richardson fan. And Will is absolutely right. They don't have anything like him on the team. And you need a Josh Richardson all the time on your team. You need a 3-and-D guy. They don't have that. Very high IQ'd guy as well. Good team player. You know what I mean? Like we said, solid defense, really good shooter, a veteran leadership he can provide for the team. Can play a couple of positions for you as well. He can start. He can come in off the bench.
Right.
He fits so well anywhere you want to put that young man.
Yeah.
So I get it for that reason.
He was a starter for many years with some of those Miami Heat teams in the late 2000 teens and put up really solid numbers. Now shifting into more of a veteran role player role. He had that brief stint in Boston. Now he's been with San Antonio for the last year and a half. But, I mean, like you said, and like Will said, it's a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
The Bulls do not have a lot of those. He's knocking down his three-pointers this season right around 5 attempts per game, which is great. The Bulls could use those 5 attempts. They're still dead last in the NBA in 3-point attempts per game. He's knocking them down at 36.5%, which is right there at his career mark. That is a guy you can rely on to knock down some threes who doesn't need the ball offensively.
Yes.
The Bulls don't have those.
He does not exist.
So that part of it I like. The Richardson part of it I do like.
Yeah.
And look, I'm with you in that I do think Jakob Poeltl is a competent big man in the NBA.
Sure.
And as Will said, you're probably getting him at or a little below the money that Vooch is going to command in the free agent market this upcoming summer. And he's younger.
Yeah.
So you're getting a younger player for probably cheaper. We'll see. He's now finishing year 3 of a 3-year deal that he signed with the Spurs back in 2020, where he has been paid 8.1, 8.7, and now this season 9.4.
Oh, he's coming for his
Those
check.
are modest numbers.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a starting caliber center.
Yes.
And that's still less than what Vooch is going to make, I think, in free agency, even if, whether it's the Bulls or elsewhere, even if it comes down a little bit from this contract that he's now finishing up that once was signed by Orlando and has shifted to us in Chicago. It was a descending contract and has been going from the 20-something millions now to just basically right at 20 million.
Yeah.
I still don't think Vooch is getting 20 mil this summer.
Yeah.
But you could probably sign Zubats for, I mean, we were talking about Zubats before.
Zubac
Jakob Poeltl for a little less than that also. Even if he's looking for a pay bump, you can give him a pay bump between $9.5 million and still less than 20.
You can do that. And he, like I said, he's not a bad basketball player. He's good. The dude's good. He's young. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't space the floor like Vooch.
Does not do that. Does not space the floor, but he can hit a three. He can hit one occasionally, but he's known for those block shots. He's known for scoring inside. He's known for those rebounding. That's what he's really excellent at. For me, he also works when you actually have a system and a point guard around him as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he has to have those things. Again, the Bulls don't have those things yet. So for me, it hurts that as well. And his production on the floor, getting him the ball inside. We've seen him struggle to get Vooch the basketball in interior passing. Jakob's kind of got to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's not a guy who's going to be crossing anybody over and be top of the key and making some moves like that. That's not his game. So I think it kind of sets it back a little bit for the Bulls just by the way they run their offense. That's it. He's good. I'm not saying anything outside of that. He's good. But again, I just don't see the Spurs letting that guy just walk out the door.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It'll be interesting to see what Vooch commands versus what Jakob Poeltl commands, whether it be staying with their current teams or signing somewhere else in free agency this upcoming offseason.
Yes.
In the meantime, I think this is a realistic trade in that, and Will kind of broke that down before going through all these trade hypotheticals in his column. It's like, look, as a friendly reminder, as a Bulls fan who's trying to concoct these trades to make our team better, the other team has to have a reason to make that trade too. Yeah. And a trade that actually comes out being a fair trade is one that leaves both teams, both franchises, a little disappointed. It's not often that you get those trades where you're like, wow, this one team by far got the winning side of this. Right. Sometimes you don't know the answer to that right when it happens. Right. Just quick hypothetical just for funsies.
Oh, okay.
Nets Mavs. Who won that trade? Do you think there was a clear winner of that trade?
No. If I had to say it, I'd say the Mavs won because they got the star. I mean, usually the people who walk away with the star are the ones who win, but you don't know what else is coming with that. Because again, if they make this trade and get Fred VanVleet, that I've been reading about, trading Spencer Dinwiddie for Fred VanVleet, that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a W for that team too. So I don't know if they're finished willing and dealing, but I mean, the Nets can look at it as a win because they're like, we got rid of a headache, got rid of a guy we didn't, we weren't vibing with, and it wasn't working here for him. So we cut that off, and got that out of here. So they can look at it as a win. The Mavs can say, dude, we've been dying for a star, another star to play next to Luka, no matter what position he plays. Yeah. So you could say it in that sense that they got to win. So you're right. Like, I guess it's all how you look on it and what team you're looking for, I guess. You know who really won that trade? Was our friend Sarah Kustok. Oh, yes. Network over there in Brooklyn, broadcaster extraordinaire. Yeah, that's and the homie. Spencer Dinwiddie superfan. Yep. Just like us Bulls fans. Yeah. Spencer Dinwiddie, the one who got away. Yes. Loves her some Spencer Dinwiddie. Thanks, Denzel. I'm happy for him that he's back in Brooklyn because I think he enjoyed his Brooklyn days. And his tweet was hilarious. You know what's more fun than living in Texas? Living in New York. You would say that about a lot of places, though. You love New York. I do. But Spencer tweeted that. One of those things he tweeted, he said, my kid just said he wanted to go back home. Yeah. Well, we're going home. It was the same tweet, right, where he was like, hey, when Shams tweets, you got to pack your bags. It's time to go, man. Time to get out of here. Which is hilarious. Okay, last thing, wrapping up, looking actually at tonight's NBA contest featuring the Bulls and the Spurs we were talking trade about. Let's take a look at these Spurs because the Bulls played them early on this season. I think it was like the Bulls' 6th game of the season. Okay. Late October. And even back then, we were all like, Spurs are bad this year, right? Spurs are going to be bad this year on purpose, right? Bulls lost that game. Out-executed them to death. Because of course they did. The Bulls coughed up a modest but still substantial 7-point lead halfway through the fourth quarter of that game. That's when the Bulls first started to show us that they're capable of losing close games and or late leads. Yes. But so Spurs at a glance since then, all season long, they are now 14-39, 14th in the Western Conference, which is also, by the way, tied for the second worst record in the league. And I believe there's one team in the East, I can't remember if it's Detroit or Orlando, that has 13. But second fewest wins in the league. They also come into tonight's game on an 8-game losing streak.
So, just like how the Bulls lost to the Pacers a week or so ago when the Pacers came into that game on like a 9 or 10 game losing streak.
Yeah, and then they whooped us.
Careful.
Yeah.
Let's be careful.
Yeah.
There you see on your screen their net ratings, their offensive and defensive ratings so far this season. Third worst offense in the NBA at 111.2. The very worst defensive rating in the NBA at 120.9, and the very worst net rating in the NBA by a lot. I think the 29th ranked net rated team is like -7 point something. Damn. The Spurs, -9.7. They bad.
They bad.
They crushing this tank.
Dude, I just remember Keldon Johnson giving the Bulls the business.
33 points.
I remember it so vividly and so well, and I was just kept saying, get the hell out of here. Like, Keldon Johnson's killing y'all? Oh, my God. But
you ready for the tank?
Yes, I am. Because I know where you're going. Come on with
So, Keldon Johnson, bad news for Bulls fans, was listed as questionable on today's earlier injury report with left ankle soreness. He has been ruled available to play tonight.
Come on.
However, Spurs still tanking real hard.
Okay.
Because listen to these players who, as they may not sound like stars or even household names, they are 4 of the Spurs' other 5 best players, give or take a night.
Talk to me.
And listen to their injury descriptions.
All right.
Well, so Devin Vassell has been out for a while. He underwent arthroscopic knee surgery.
Okay.
Won't be back for a while. Hope the best from him. Always have enjoyed Devin Vassell.
Okay.
Big fan of his. He's out. Trey Jones, left foot soreness, out. Their rook, Jeremy Sohan, who's balling out this season.
Yes.
Back soreness, out.
Backiotomy?
Romeo Langford, no superstar, but a decent player who's been doing occasional useful things for the Spurs this season. Left adductor tightness, so left thigh tightness, also out.
Is the
4 of their most productive players with made-up injuries having a seat against our Bulls tonight, Dave.
Is the green-haired assassin playing?
That's Sohan. He is out.
In there. Sohan's out?
He's out.
Okay. Yeah, they tanking. I like the injuries because that's also like it's not like really bad. It's like soreness.
Sore this, sore that, tight this, tight that. Yeah. I'm almost a little surprised that Keldon Johnson's playing tonight.
Yeah, me
they
too.
put him on the injury report with ankle soreness.
Yeah.
And be like, well, let's make sure we lose this one tonight because we accidentally beat the Bulls back in October.
Seriously.
And it was Keldon Johnson leading the way with 33 points. Maybe we sit you down tonight, Keldon.
Right.
But no, they're saying, Keldon, you go out there and play. It's okay. We should be able to secure the L because we're sitting all of your teammates.
Yeah, and we'll see how the Bulls come out. Because, teams, again, have actively tried to lose basketball games against the Chicago Bulls. And the Bulls said, nah, not tonight. You got it. Quite a few times. And players, even when they're tanking, if they get to a certain point and they smell victory, they're going to go for it. That's just, the nature of the beast as an athlete. You're going to go for it. It doesn't matter. You forget everything, and you're like, I'm trying to win immediately. Hopefully the Bulls don't put themselves in this position with the Spurs. You see what they're doing. They want to lose. They want to be trash. Give them what they want. Put the foot betwixt the buttocks and send these dudes back to San Antonio, please. All right?
Shout out to French Bulls TV in the comments who said, surely the Bulls can't lose to the team who concede the most points per game, lost 8 in a row, and will miss their 3 best scorers tonight, right? Well, they do have Keldon Johnson. Yeah. But, yes, I understand the sentiment and where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Connor saying 8-game losing streak. Well, we're screwed. Damon saying watch the Bulls still get blown out. Oh, it is heartwarming to see how Bulls fans have framed their point of view as far as what this team is this season.
The best part is if the Bulls get this victory, it's going to be Eastern Conference Finals talk all in the chat after the game, man. There is no in-between, Bulls Nation.
Renewable and rechargeable review in the comments saying, can DT and Marco still get some minutes, you think? Last I checked, Marco is still down with Windy City because he and Dalen were both assigned to Windy City a few days ago. Yeah. They recalled Dalen, but not Marco. If you're suggesting that the Bulls are winning comfortably in the fourth quarter and that maybe Dalen Terry will get some tick because of that, don't count on it. We're cracking these jokes about how the Bulls might lose to this team that's actively tanking, successfully tanking, and missing half of their useful players tonight.
Hey, shout out to Marco, though, man. He drained 5 threes in that last game they played.
There you go.
He balled out in that game. He really did.
Along the lines of injuries and who's in and who's out tonight, and also along the lines of whether or not Dalen Terry gets some tick. We did see Dalen Terry get a quick 4-minute stint against Portland.
One goon of the night.
And then quickly disappeared. One goon of the night for one offensive rebound / foul that he drew.
That's right. It was amazing.
I did just get a text from our guy, Will to go Gottlieb. I knew Caruso was listed as a game time decision. Just a few moments ago, Caruso officially ruled out tonight.
Makes sense. It's the Spurs. Yeah.
Not great news for the Bulls, but Caruso, if he can afford, and the Bulls can afford another night of rest, great. And maybe that means Dalen Terry minutes.
Yeah. And
maybe.
I mean, am I right now coming in on the back-to-back?
Bulls play against the Grizz tomorrow night.
Right. So, I think I'm going to need you more against that. You know what I'm saying? That team, if you're going to, come out and try to tough it out, I like to see you do it against them and not the San Antonio Spurs. So, it makes sense. Get a rest. Chill out. And man, let's just go get this victory.
Let's go get the victory.
Let's go do this.
Just real quick before we wrap up, my favorite exchange in the chat is Jimmy asking if the Bulls should sign Rajon Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins. I saw that, yes. And Brian in the comments adding and asking Jimmy, are you drunk?
Jimmy, yes.
If you are, no judgments. No judgments, Jimmy. But no, not a fan of that idea.
Did you make your bet?
No, but it's 7:01. I've still got at least 6 minutes. I should do that now.
All right, let's get in.
You do it too. Yeah. Make your same game parlay on DraftKings right now because it's a zero risk free parlay. Get a free parlay back if the one you make on Bulls Spurs doesn't hit. Bulls, please just handle your business tonight.
Let's do your thing.
Please.
It's all good.
If they handle their business tonight, they go into Memphis tomorrow with a chance to get back to 500. For the first time since early November.
And their chance to get their first 4-game winning streak of the season.
Oh, I thought they had one. One? No? It's only been a few different threes? Gross. On that note, we'll see all y'all right back here for postgame. Thanks for watching CHGO Bulls pregame presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. For Joey and Big Dave, I'm Peck. We will talk to all of you in a couple of hours. See you right. Be good.
Peace.